They were machines ahead of their time, bold ideas, revolutionary concepts, prototypes that promised to change everything we knew about cars. But then, they disappeared, canceled, forgotten, left behind in a past where they could have been the future. Today, we're diving into 7 insane prototypes that never made it to the streets, and the reasons why will surprise you. If you're passionate about cars, technology, and untold stories, then you're in the right place. Now, get ready, because what you're about to see could have changed the course of the automotive industry forever. The automotive industry has always been in a race against time, a battle between innovation and reality, between what's possible and what seems impossible. Every decade, engineers and designers push the limits of what a car can be. New technologies, new materials, new concepts, and along the way, prototypes are born. Cars built to test the future. Some become legends, others never make it past the concept stage. Today, we're taking a look at some of these models' revolutionary machines that had everything to change history, but for some reason, were left behind. Stay until the end, because the number 1 spot on our list is something you have to see to believe. 7th place, Renault Desire. The year was 2010. The Paris Motor Show. The future seemed to be right there, in front of everyone's eyes. That's when Renault unveiled something no one expected. The Desire, an electric concept car that looked like it came straight out of a sci-fi movie. Smooth lines, gull-wing doors, a sculpted body. But what really stood out was the promise behind it. With a 150 horsepower electric motor, the Desire could go from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 5 seconds. All of that without emitting a single drop of pollution. It seemed perfect, the beginning of a new era for Renault. But then, silence. The Desire never made it past the concept stage. It existed only as a vision of what the brand could be. In reality, Renault never really intended to build it. The Desire was a statement, a car that wasn't built for the streets, but to influence the design of future Renault models. And in fact, its DNA can be seen in cars like the Clio, the Captur, and even the Megane. But the Desire itself, it never saw the light of day. Now, we move on to the next one on our list, a supercar that promised to be the future of Ford, but ended up staying just on paper. 6th place, Ford GT90. Detroit, 1995. Ford was about to unveil something that would leave car enthusiasts speechless. When the spotlights turned on, there it was, the GT90, a supercar that looked like it came from another era. Its sharp lines, its aggressive design, everything about it screamed speed. But what truly made this car special was under the hood. A V12 engine, 4 turbos, 720 horsepower. Ford claimed the GT90 could break the 400 kilometers per hour mark. At the time, that was almost unheard of for a production car, but then it vanished. The GT90 never made it to the streets. It was never put into production. For Ford, it was just a testbed for ideas, a concept built to showcase its new design philosophy, known as New Edge, and once that mission was complete, the car was left behind. Still, the GT90 was never truly forgotten. It became a 90s icon, appearing in games like Need for Speed 2 and featured in automotive magazines as a glimpse of what could have been, but never was. And now, we move on to one of the strangest concepts on our list, a car that didn't just look like something from the future, but could literally change its shape. 5th place, BMW Gina Light Visionary Model. Imagine a car that can change its shape. No, we're not talking about a transformer. This was the BMW Gina, a concept so futuristic, it seemed to defy the very laws of automotive design. Unveiled in 2008, the Gina wasn't made of metal. Its body was covered in a special, flexible, and water-resistant fabric. This allowed the car to literally transform. The headlights opened like eyelids. The hood could expand. Even the doors moved in a way unlike anything ever seen before. But the Gina wasn't just an aesthetic experiment. It represented a new philosophy, the idea that a car could be shaped to adapt to the driver, instead of the other way around. So why was it never produced? Simple, the Gina was never meant for that. It existed to challenge conventions, to test new ideas. But its flexible structure, while revolutionary, wasn't practical for the real world. Safety, durability, costs, none of these worked in favor of the concept. Even so, the Gina fulfilled its purpose. It opened the door to new ways of thinking about automotive design, but the car itself would never hit the streets. Now, imagine a car that combined innovation and power, but was canceled before it even had a real chance. That's the next one on our list, and it came from one of the most iconic brands in history. Fourth place, Mercedes-Benz C111. Late 1960s, Mercedes-Benz was about to unveil one of the boldest prototypes in its history. The C111 was no ordinary car. It was a rolling experiment, a platform designed to test new technologies that could one day shape the future of the automotive industry. But what truly grabbed attention was the engine. Unlike anything Mercedes had ever built, the C111 was designed to test Wankel rotary engines. That's right, rotary engines. The promise? More power, less weight, greater efficiency. But the story didn't end there. When the Wankel engine proved to be problematic, Mercedes decided to push even further. They built versions of the C111 equipped with turbocharged diesel engines. And these cars shattered records, speeds over 300 km/h, marks that no other diesel-powered vehicle had ever reached. So, why was it never produced? The answer lies in the very essence of the C111. It was never designed to be a street car. It was a laboratory on wheels. Mercedes didn't intend to sell it, they wanted to learn from it, to push limits, to develop solutions that would later be applied to their production models. And so, the C111 became part of history, a car that never hit the streets, but helped shape the future of automotive engineering. Now, imagine a car so futuristic. It looked more like a spaceship than a land vehicle, a Ferrari, unlike anything ever made. That's the next one on our list, and its story is just as impressive as its design. Third place, Ferrari Modulo. The year was 1970. The world was obsessed with space, the era of moon missions, rockets, and the unknown. And in that context, one of the boldest concept cars Ferrari had ever created was born. The Modulo wasn't just a car, it was a sculpture, a fusion of automotive design and futuristic art. Low-wide, with a silhouette that defied every convention. Instead of traditional doors, a massive canopy slid forward to reveal the cockpit. It was something the world had never seen before. But don't be fooled, the Modulo wasn't just about looks. Beneath its ultra-futuristic body sat a Ferrari V12 engine, producing over 550 horsepower. Top speed? An estimated 354 kilometers per hour. So, what happened? The Modulo was never meant for production. Designed by the legendary Pininfarina, it was an extreme concept and experiment in aerodynamics and style. The problem? Its design was so radical, it simply didn't work as a conventional car. Visibility was minimal. Ergonomics? Almost non-existent. In the end, it remained nothing more than a design experiment. But even without ever hitting the streets, the Modulo became an icon. It won 22 design awards and remains, to this day, one of the most breathtaking concept cars ever created. Now, imagine a hybrid supercar built with materials never before used in a car. A concept that seemed like the future of sports cars, but never made it past the drawing board. That's the next one on our list, and its story is just as surprising as its design. Second place, Peugeot Onyx. The year was 2012. Once again, the Paris Motor Show became the stage for the future of the automotive industry, and at the center of attention was a car that seemed to defy all the rules. The Peugeot Onyx wasn't just another supercar, it was a masterpiece of engineering and design. Sharp lines, an aggressive stance, and one detail no one expected. Part of its body was made of pure copper. Yes, copper, a material that, over time, would develop a natural patina, making each unit unique. But the innovation didn't stop there. Under the hood, a 600 horsepower V8 inherited from Peugeot's race cars. And to complement it, an 80 horsepower electric motor, creating a high-performance hybrid system. It was stunning, it was powerful, and then it vanished. The Onyx was never produced. Its construction used exotic materials and handcrafted techniques, making production costs unrealistic. It was a statement, a declaration of Peugeot's vision for the future, a glimpse of what the brand could create, but never brought to market. Still, its influence can be seen in Peugeot's concept cars and designs in the years that followed. The Onyx never hit the streets, but it left its mark in supercar history. Now, imagine a car that looked like a fighter jet on wheels, a prototype so advanced, it was destroyed before it even had a chance. The next car on our list is a true lost legend, a car that could have been one of Mazda's most iconic creations, but met a tragic fate. First place, Mazda Furai. Mazda was about to unveil one of the most jaw-dropping concept cars in its history, a machine that looked like it came straight from the Le Mans racetrack, but with an even more aggressive touch. The Furai wasn't just a concept, it was a race car disguised as a prototype. Sharp lines, extreme aerodynamics, a design so futuristic, it looked fast even at a standstill. But what truly made the Furai special was its heart. Under the body, a 3-rotor Wankel rotary engine producing 450 horsepower. But more than that, it ran on ethanol, proving that a high-performance car could be eco-friendly without losing its racing soul. It wasn't just a showpiece, it was a fully functional concept. It drove, it roared, it was real. But then, it all came to an end. During a test with an automotive magazine, the Furai caught fire. Within minutes, the only existing prototype was reduced to ashes. Just like that, one of the most incredible concept cars ever built was gone forever. Mazda never rebuilt the Furai. Its legacy lives on in photos, videos, and in the memories of enthusiasts. A car that could have been a revolution, but met a tragic end before it even had a chance. And that wraps up our list 7 cars that had everything to change history, but never saw the light of day. Some stayed on paper, others hit the road but never made it past the concept stage. Each one was a vision of the future that never happened. But now, I want to hear from you. Which of these prototypes would you love to see on the streets? Or do you think there are others that deserved a spot on this list? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future content.